Have you ever felt like you were just running on empty? You were doing all the right things, but you just felt aimless. What if the problem wasn't what you were doing, but why you were doing it? Welcome to Read It with Rachel, and today we are going to uncover the power of your why. It's the unseen foundation that just holds everything together. Maybe you've forgotten why you're doing what you're doing. Maybe in your health journey, you've forgotten why you started in the first place. Maybe you've never discovered your why. Well, today we're going to talk about how to discover your why, or how to rediscover your why, and why it's so important to the foundation of everything else. When a builder builds a house, they have to first lay a firm foundation. And this takes time because they have to clear away debris and trash. They have to make sure it's level before they lay the foundation. And they have to dig down deep so that house will be firm. Our why is that unseen foundation. When we are doing what we're doing, whether it's in our health or our life, people don't see that why, but we know it. And maybe you've forgotten what that why is. Maybe you've never discovered that why. That's the purpose of today's video. But when a builder builds a house and they build on a foundation that is not firm, or maybe when it settles, it starts to become shaky, what do we notice in the house? We see cracks, right? What do we do when we see those cracks? Well, we want to patch them. Immediately, we start patching them. Maybe you're seeing cracks right now in your life, and you want to patch them. You want to grab that thing that's big right now and just patch it, and you think that'll fix it, or this will fix it, quick fixes. But it's not about that. We need to look at the foundation. So when a foundation has become unsteady or it's not firm, they have to come in and shore that up by doing different things to help level out whatever is happening underneath the ground. They have to fix it. And sometimes in our health, we have to shore up things. There are gaps. Maybe we have nutritional gaps. Maybe we need supplements here. We need a vitamin here. There are times to do that when we have to look down at the foundation and see what's happening, because sometimes that's when we feel aimless, is when our foundation is shaky or we've forgotten our why. The first step in rediscovering your why, or discovering your why for the first time, is to pause and reflect. Think back on when you felt passionate about this at the first. Maybe it's a health journey and you felt passionate because you wanted to spend time running with your kids and with your grandkids, and that was your why. Go back to that and reflect on that. What was going on in your life at that time when you first discovered your why, or right now when you're thinking about what is even my why? And to be honest, sometimes your why can change. Maybe you've reached those goals and now your why looks different. So we need to sit and reflect and think on those things. What was the first thing that made me feel passionate about this? And what was happening in my life at that time? The second step is to listen and pray. Invite God into this moment. Ask him to reveal your purpose. You know, there's a story that Jesus tells in Matthew 7 about a man who built a house on sand and a man who built a house on rock. The man who built a house on the sand, the winds came and the storms came, and that house just fell apart because it was built on sand. Did not have a solid foundation. But the man who built his house on the rock, when the winds blew and the storm came, the house stood firm. And that is a picture of us building our lives on Jesus's words. So the person that builds their life on Jesus's words, a firm foundation, when the storms come, that house will stand because it's built on Christ. So invite him in. I encourage you to listen and pray and ask God to reveal his purpose for you and that why for you. Number 3, and this is probably central to discovering your why or rediscovering your why, is to identify your core values. What matters to you? Is it your faith? Is it your family? Is it your health? What is it that matters? And write this down, journal this. This will be central to discovering your why, and it'll be something you want to keep before you in the long run, because when you have those things happen that shake you, you come back to that why. Why am I doing this? When you feel discouraged in your health journey, you have to come back to that why. Why am I doing this again? Because that is going to be the unseen foundation. Number 4, and this is a little bit about going backwards, revisit your story. What are some things in your life that have shaped you? What has God done in your life through those hard things even? Sometimes this becomes part of our why. For example, if we're in a health journey and maybe we're in a health crisis, that was something that shaped us. That became our why for pursuing health because we were in a crisis. So think about those things that have shaped you in your life. The 5th step is an action, is to take small intentional steps. This is where we start to realign our days with our why in mind. Our rediscovered why, our newly discovered why. We realign our days towards that. So we ask ourselves, is this supporting, is this reinforcing my why, or is this like taking me off on a rabbit trail? So many times, if we want to grow in certain areas, say we're wanting to grow in the area of focus, and we begin our day with pulling our phone out and starting looking and scrolling, then it's not in reinforcing that why. We're not focusing, we're not moving towards that. That's not an intentional step. So maybe the intentional step in that situation would be to just the first hour of the day, not be on your phone. That's a good rule to follow. So if your foundation feels shaky and you feel aimless, go back to your why. Write this why out. Write it out, have it visible, because when things get hard, when you get discouraged, you've got to come back to that why. That's what's going to keep you going, because everyone is building on something. What are you building on?